Hello there, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. And today we have an interesting topic that we are discussing, that is marriage, part of marriage, that is. And marriage is a topic that people, or it's a sector of relationship that people find complicated. Others find it easy. Others find it, they don't even know what to categorize it as. But I always say that marriage is workable and is interesting and is good and is enjoyable. You are only knowledge away from knowing what to do and how to run it. It's a God started institution, so it is good to learn. If you have learned and you keep learning, then you can keep on working on those things that are not working. And again, you can unlearn those things that you have adapted into that are making it not work as it is, if it is not working, that is. And if you don't know, then you can always learn. So we are always open to learning and learning and relearning again, so that we can be able to be the people that we are supposed to be. So today we're talking about the dangers of silent treatment. Silent treatment is when people are quiet, they are not talking to each other. And I know you've been in that phase. You have been in that phase many times. Anyway, let me just give it a definition according to what I read, and maybe that will help you to know what exactly it is. It's a form of emotional withdrawal, at times used as punishment or control, mostly due to unresolved issues, breakdown in communication and conflict. Now you get to know why this silent treatment is even coming in the first place, because there is conflict, there is what is unresolved, there is what is needs to be done and has not been done, there is what needs to be said and has not been said. So this breakdown of communication makes the partners, both of them, choose their own way, and most of the time they choose to be quiet and not talk and not get involved at all with each other. Now, what are the dangers of this withdrawal? You're not talking, you're not agreeing, you're just there. And again, in this place or in this channel, we are Christians, we are born again, we are God fearing, we obey and respect the word of God that does not allow such kind of things, because the Bible clearly says, do not go to bed angry. So that means if you have anything that is running, you have to sit down and solve it. So as a Christian, again, you need to understand what is the standpoint of silent treatment. Where does it fall into? It falls in that category, and you're supposed to work on it so that you are not affected by it, because it has a lot of, I've seen it bring disaster and even divorce. I've seen even people die out of it, because for example, there was a lady who was having an asthma attack, and the husband thought that she was just wanted to reach out and continue with the conflict that they had. So he didn't speak to her or turn and listen to her, and then by morning the lady had already gone. And that's a sad part of this. When we talk about the dangers of silent treatment in marriage, number one is that the minor issues will become major issues. You see, you guys are not talking. You people are angry at each other. You're not even talking about anything, literally anything. So this becomes that it's a source of conflict already, the ongoing conflict that you had. Maybe you disagreed on something, or various issues are bothering you, and you are there, but because you have not resolved it, you're not talking to each other. You literally not talking to each other. So that minor issue, that small thing, breeds and becomes a very big thing in life, and you will find that another conflict is likely to come up. In the same conflict, you're already in a conflict, and continuing in the conflict, and another conflict will come in, because there's a lot of negative energy, there's a lot of bitterness and hatred at that time. There are so many things that come up with, that are associated together with that silent treatment, and it's something that you should fight with all your might to put away, so that your marriage is able to work. So we said The number one possibility of a silent treatment is that a minor issue will turn into a major issue. It is not necessary at all, at all. And the thoughts that you have could even become difficult to resolve because you keep on adding other thoughts that are necessary just because you're angry, or you misinterpret your partner is doing this because so it's not necessary, and then it disrupts the peace at home. You are angry and you're acting so, even the children, they will not have the peace, they will experience the conflict. It runs from the parents down the line. So it is important as a person, and moreover as a Christian, born again Christian, to avoid these silent treatments, stonewalling. You're not talking to your partner. If you have any issue, just because you're grown-ups, take time. You are a human being and you will make mistakes, but take time, sit down and talk. Don't disrupt the peace of the home because you have had a conflict. Conflicts are there, but learn on conflict resolutions, on how to work on things, and learn how to disagree agreeably. I mean, you can just disagree, but you don't have to act angry or stuff like that because of the children and even the environment that you're in. Again, another danger, number 3, is that it prompts you to stay away from each other. You've not seen something that will bring people apart, like this silent treatment. You feel like you want to go away, far away, where you're not even heard or seen, or it's so destructive. So kindly work on it. Do not allow it. Will come, but do not give it room to stay. Do not give it a rental place in your heart, in your life. Don't give it any time, so that it will not destroy your marriage, so that you can be able to work. And then it disrupts you from the common vision of marriage. I mean, maybe you're investing together, you will not be able to communicate about that investment, and maybe there are crucial decisions that are supposed to be made, but since you're not talking, then you will have to derail or hold it back just because you are not communicating. So is it necessary, or is it very destructive? You weigh the balance and see that it is very destructive, and you put it away. There's no need, because you can miss on many things that you're supposed to do, and it will take a lot of time to even go back there and try to work it out, which is unnecessary. So kindly drop it, because it disrupts the common vision of the marriage that you're having. And marriage is supposed to be peaceful and happy, and you're supposed to enjoy it. Again, it opens room for assumptions and misinterpreting your spouse. If he's late, you've started thinking about the things he could be doing out there. If there is anything that he has done, maybe he did or she did something that is not even intentional, but because you are already on a conflict mode that has not been resolved, then anything that comes must be associated with whatever is happening, which is very unnecessary, by the way. Is very unnecessary. And do not be disrupted by it. Do not be lied by it. Make your marriage work. Fight for your marriage. I don't mean that you fight now literally it guns and knives and everything. No, make sure that you fight the good fight of making sure that peace is important to you than conflict, that you overcome the things, that you let go, that you forgive, that your heart is quickly able to let go of the things that will come, because things, they will come, literally they will, and it is good to know. And then it kills the intimacy. You guys, that moment you remember that time that you are not talking to each other. What are you doing with each other? Nothing. So it kills the intimacy, and there is also the risk of even starting an affair. Somebody will stay, maybe you're not talking to this person. That is gross, when you don't talk to a person for over a week or a month. I've had people even 3 months. What are you guys doing? 3 months? Are you serious? Are you for real? Sit down and just get a resolution board. Just get a way of handling things. Things will come, but the best thing is to address issues and let them go. And I'm telling you, intimacy is one of the most important, crucial part of marriage. And if you just joke with this area, somebody out there will just come up with fancy stuff that is unnecessary, but because you're in conflict and you are not solving it and you're there, then you might be left wondering what just happened when an affair crops out of the stonewalling that you're doing at home, or the conflict that you're not resolving. So make sure that you don't give the devil a a foothold. Don't give the devil a place in your marriage and in your life at any point, because you cannot sit down as two grown-ups and agree on something or disagree peacefully over something that was said, something that was done, something that was misinterpreted. There are so many things that can be brought about by situations, and it's good to handle them in a grown-up, mature way. The last thing is that you start reliving your past spouse mistake, and at times it could even lead to divorce. And we know women, they sit down and you remember on that Wednesday he was wearing a blue shirt, and at 6:45 he said this and this, and it hurt me. And then another day again on Saturday, it was in the morning at this time and this time, 9:42 a.m. or something. You remember the hurts and the previous things that have happened. Yes, at times you even let them go, but they come afresh now, and you start living them at that particular time and seeing that this is the worst person I ever chose. This is crazy, this is unbearable, this is total madness. And by the time you're thinking that, the devil is also helping you fuel so that you can be able to see the disaster, because he's not very happy on marriage that is working. So make sure that as a Christian and as a person, a married person, you are able to separate conflict, and you're able to resolve it the best way and the quickest way possible. Please note that it is important to solve your conflict as soon as it comes. So with that, the 7, there are many risks, there are many dangers, there are many threats, and marriage will always be fought by the devil. There is so much, but again, there is also what we've said: you can learn, you can unlearn, you can relearn. On those issues that you don't know, learn. On those issues that you learned and they're not necessary, then do away with them. But make sure that as a person, as an individual, you learn how to solve conflict. Don't go to bed angry. Please keep peace, maintain peace at all costs. Maintain peace. Forgive even without being asked for forgiveness. Just let go, so that you can be able to work. I know we're growing, and you're working together to grow our marriages so that they can be glorious as God intended them to be, so that we can also enjoy them. So I know that you will not have that silent treatment. And in any case you're not talking to your spouse, please put this phone down, or whatever gadget you're using to see me as I'm speaking to you right now, and go and apologize. Make peace, because that is the most important thing in a marriage. Make sure that you're talking to each other, you're communicating, you're building, you're investing, you're working together for your marriage and for your children, and for the generations that are to come will be affected by the decisions that you made as a person that were crucial but helpful. Note, it is important to sustain peace at all costs. Be blessed, have a great time, and don't entertain silent treatment at whatever point in your marriage.